Hi, everyone. Welcome to section 2.4. This is the last section of this chapter. We are going to be working on surveys and cardinal numbers for this section. What are the objectives of this lesson? We are going to be analyzing survey results and placing them actually in a Venn diagram. So we're going to be exploring Venn diagrams in this section. Applying cardinal number formula. So we're going to be talking about a formula of cardinal numbers, and we're going to be interpreting information from tables. So let's talk about the definition of a survey. Problems involving, so what is a survey? A survey is a problem involving sets of people or other objects, sometimes require analyzing known information about certain subsets to obtain cardinal numbers of other subsets. The known information is often obtained by conducting a survey. That is the definition. So we have here a problem that we are going to be analyzing. This example analyzes a survey where you have a group of 140 people. So this is the total amount of people. So this is your total number of people you surveyed. They had questions about particular sports that they watched regularly. And the following information was produced. So we know that 93 people like football, 70 like baseball, 40 like hockey, 40 like football and baseball, 25 like basketball and hockey, 28 like football and hockey, and 20 like all three. How many people like only football? And how many people do not like any of these sports? So in order for us to answer questions A and B, we are going to be creating a Venn diagram. So what is a Venn diagram? I'm going to put it over here. I'm going to be creating, my Venn diagram that is going to involve a football, baseball, and hockey. So I have three different sets. I have F for football. I have, what's the next one? B for baseball. And I have another one, which is hockey. And why do I write it like this? And then I know that I have a universe on the outside. So this is a Venn diagram. They are intersecting because I see that I have 40 like football and baseball, 25 like baseball and hockey, and then 20 like all three. So there is a point where they all intersect, and I'm actually going to change the color of B. So let me remove B, the color. So I have purple, black, and I'm going to include the blue. So B will be blue. So that way we can analyze the colors. So 20 like all three. So this is where we always begin, the intersection of all three. We always begin with the intersection of all three. Of all three sets. So football, baseball, and hockey are sets. So F, B, and H. So 20 like all three. So I'm going to go in my Venn diagram and I'm going to highlight the intersection, of all of the three of them. All of the three colors match in this area. So that area is 20. Now, there's also this intersection between the blue and the purple. So F and B, the purple and the blue, this baseball. So F stands for football. B stands for baseball. And H, of course, is the hockey. So then if we want to find how many people like football and baseball, we know that's 40. So then what number goes here? Well, the intersection between the blue and the purple should be 40, but I already have 20. So I'm missing a 20 up here because 20 plus 20 will give me 40. Now the intersection, of course, of F and B is going to give you your 40. Now 25 and hockey. So this side, the blue and the H is 25. So I'm going, this one is already passed. 25 like baseball and hockey, but I already have 20. I have to add a 5 here because 20 plus 5 will give me the 25, which is this part. So next. And then 28 like football and hockey. So that's the purple and the black. So what number would go here? Well, an 8. Well, let's go back. We have 28 like football and hockey. So that's this one. It's this, please, the black and the blue. So that gives me a 28. 20 plus 8 is 28. Now, we've answered the first few. Why do I have to do it in this format? Well, because now I'm going to be able to answer letter A. How many people only like football? So notice this, the 20, and the 8. I have to remove those because those are intersections. So then here should be 93 like football, but 93 is incorporated in the whole circle. So I have to take 93 that like football minus 20 minus 20 minus, we don't count the 5 because that's outside the purple. So we're only looking at the purple circle. And we're removing this 20, and this 8. So we're going to take our calculator and we're going to say, okay, well, what's 93 minus 20 minus 20 minus 8? And that's going to give me 45. So 45 is what goes here. So 45 are the people that only like football. No other sports, just football. Now, the next question, we want to find the rest of the pieces. We want to find the outside of B and the outside of H. So we know that 70 like baseball, but I already have things accounted for that. So then the baseball, it's going to be what? I want to find this number. So I know that the total number of baseball is 70. So I have to remove 70 minus 20 minus 20 minus 5. Again, 20, 20, and 5. Taking my calculator, I have 70 minus 20 minus 20 minus 5 will give me 25 right here. So 25 only like baseball. And how many only like hockey? Well, that's not part of the question, but that's okay. We want to answer it anyway. And you'll understand why. So how many people just like hockey? So no other sports. So hockey are 40. So I have to remove 40 from 20, from 5, and from 8. And that's what's going to give me the people that only like hockey. So I have 40 minus 20 minus 5 minus 8. Minus 5. So 20 minus 40 minus 20 minus 5 minus 8 will give me 7, which is that piece. Now, what is the whole purpose? Why did I do this in the first place? Well, because I want to answer B. How many people do not like any of the sports? So everyone who likes the sports is in this section. How many did we survey? We surveyed, let's go back, 140. So we have to take 140 and subtract it by every single value inside my Venn diagram. So 140 minus 45 minus 20 minus 20 minus 13 minus 25, and then minus 7. And that should be the people that don't like any sport. So I'm going to use my calculator. 140 minus 45 minus 20 minus 20 minus 13 minus, oops. Minus 13 minus 25 minus 7. And that should give me a total of 10. So that means that 10 people do not like any sports. So how many people don't like any of the sports? That's 10. So 10 people don't like sports. Again, this is called a Venn diagram. What I did, we started again on number 1, the intersections of all the 3 sets. That's where we have to begin first. And then we start building up our Venn diagram by subtracting values from the given information. Okay. So that is analyzing a survey. There it is. That's exactly what we did. That's where we started. We let F be. We already completed the solution. So there it is. It matches with what we have. And then what they did is, of course, they added and they subtracted from 140, which is the total number of the people that they surveyed, and got 10. So our solution from the Venn diagram is 40 people only like football and 10 do not like any of the sports, which is something that we knew. For the next part is talking about cardinal number formula. For any of the 2 sets, A and B, it can be A, B, C, it doesn't matter as long as you have a comparison between 2 sets. The following is true. N, remember N is the cardinality, the number of values in a particular set. So the cardinality of an OR statement, A or B, is equal to the cardinality of A plus the cardinality of B minus the cardinality of the intersection. So you're going to add the cardinal of each and then subtract it by the intersection, because you want to make sure that you're not double counting. So why do we have to subtract by the intersection? We subtract to prevent double counting. That's why this piece is involved, because then we would double count because they might have things in common. Okay. So we are going to be using this cardinal number formula to answer the next question. So please make sure you write down this formula because we are going to use it. So let's look at this question. We are not going to look at the solution. We want to find the cardinality of A if we already know the OR statement, the cardinality of the OR, we know the intersection, and we know N of B. So we have N of A or B is equal to N of A plus N of B minus the N of A intersection with B. So this is what's missing. This is the missing value. So we can substitute and solve, like if this was an algebraic expression. So we're going to go ahead and substitute N of A or B. The cardinality is 78. 78 is the OR, the cardinality of the OR is equal to, do we know N of A? We don't. So that's N of A plus N of B. We do know N of B. The N of B is right here, 36. So plus 36 minus 21. The intersection. Now we want to solve for here, this highlighted area, N of A. So we clean it up. We want to do, well, what's 36 minus 21? We have to do that first. That's going to give me 15. So I get 78 is equal to N of A plus 15 because we cleaned this up. Now to solve for N of A, we subtract both sides by 15. And we get N of A is equal to 63. Solving a equation, we isolate the variable N of A. So that tells me that the cardinality of A is 63, which is exactly what we have over here. So that is just applying the cardinal number formula. So you might be given one thing, you might be given another, and you might have to solve sometimes, and that's okay. So making sure that you know how to identify what are the pieces that are given and what are the pieces that it's missing. The last part or the last example of the section is we wish to analyze data in a table. So let's read the problem. On a given day, breakfast patterns were categorized according to age and preferred beverage. The results are summarized on the next slide. There will be questions to follow. So this is the data. So let's say for the drinks, this is the drinks and this is the food. Coffee, juice, and tea, we have Y, M, and O. So the age is categorized in age. So the youth, like the more adults and the over 33. And we're going to be answering the following questions. So again, this is summarized and they're asking to answer these questions. Using the letters in the table, find the number of people in which, or sorry, the number of people in each of the following sets. Okay. So using the letters in the table, using the numbers in the table, find the number of people in each of the following sets. So let's read what A is. We want to find the intersection between Y and C. So where is that? We have a Y and we have a C. Where do they meet? They meet here in 15. So 15 is the answer. If because they're saying I want you to find the intersection. So they're saying where do they meet? Well, they meet when Y is Y and then you have C. That's this piece. What about the next one? The next one is saying, so you're saying not O. So you're removing the O, you're removing. So if you're not O, that means then you are Y and M. So if you're Y and M, so you're 55 and 77, because you're not O, so you're not going to be O. You're not going to be the number of over 33. You're just, because it's not O, the complement means not. Then you are Y and M, so you're 55 and 77, or T. What do you mean, or T? So that means that you have the last piece, your T, so O prime, so not O, but yes, T. So the T would be 24. Okay. So we would have 55 plus 77 plus 24. And we would get a total of 156. Again, O prime means not O, so that means you are Y and M. And those that are not already counted, because that if I would add 91, that would be double counting. So be careful. So I would have to just look at the O and the T, which is not counted. So then we have and T. So the T was already accounted on the 55 and the 77. We were only missing the O and the T. So the O and the T match at 74. Sorry, at 24. So OT, that was 24, which was not counted. So then our answer would be 156. So that's how you would read a table. You would analyze the table and then you would read the results by looking at a particular column and a particular row. That is the end of section 2.4. So again, what we did was we saw Venn diagrams and analyzed particular surveys. We found the cardinal number and how to apply a cardinal number and solving for a particular cardinality. And lastly, we analyzed data in a table. Alrighty, I hope that this was clear. Otherwise, please let me know via office hours. I'm happy to assist. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.